Hi, everybody. It's Don, and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Well, today I want to talk to you about Princess Cruise Lines and what there is to do on the ship. A lot of people look at it, they know it's a sophisticated cruise line, they know it's got good food, but what is there to do on a ship? So I'm going to tell you right after this. Number one, the first thing that I would always recommend on a Princess Cruise is check out their shows, their Broadway shows in the theater. They are some of the best out there at sea. I've been on numerous Princess ships and I've loved pretty much every single show out there. The singers are always top notch, the dancers are always entertaining, and I even like listening to the entertainment director at the beginning of each of the performances, just joking around with the audience. So you all know the shows are something I love, and if I don't love a show on a cruise, chances are I'm not going to like that cruise. Number two, if you can, if it's warm enough, even if it's cold enough, bundle up, but check out and do a night of movies under the stars. Check out the movies that are playing, and one night just set yourself aside to get a nice, comfortable seat, a nice cushioned lounge chair, get yourself some popcorn, order a drink, and just enjoy the movie under the stars, under the sky, under the night. It is so peaceful at night and so relaxing, especially the late show feature. There's hardly anybody walking around, there's hardly any noise, just the distant waves of the ocean going by and the new movie you're watching. So it's a great end of a night to just unwind, relax from the day, and just enjoy a movie. Number three is you can do two things on your balcony. You can order breakfast or you can have a champagne dinner ordered and delivered and served to you on your balcony. Do you have a special occasion coming up? Do you have something you want to celebrate? Do you want to propose to somebody? Nothing can be better than being out in the middle of the ocean on your private balcony, being served by your own waiter, and having champagne and being served away from everybody. So you're just having a nice romantic dinner by yourselves, especially for those romantic occasions. Number three is take in some game shows, even if you don't want to participate. Some of the answers and some of the antics that end up just from the passengers are absolutely hilarious. And FYI, if you're ever in a game show and you're thinking, oh, I better not say that because that, well, usually the naughtier the answer, more people are thinking it. So it's and usually ends up being the right answer. So yeah, don't hold back. Just let it go. The audience is a mature audience. There's hardly ever any kids in there because it's normally later in the day. But they can be absolutely hilarious. You saw my nephew maybe in that video try his hand at yes and no game show, and he lasted all of 3 seconds. So yeah, um, it's just a lot of fun to watch, especially if you know people and you're all together, making fools of yourself, and just have a good sense of humor about it. I made a fool of myself on this one, but I had a great time. So check out those game shows. Number five, a lot of people absolutely love the afternoon tea. It's complimentary, doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's served in the afternoon, especially on sea days, and people are just line up for this. It's one of the most popular things. They serve you a traditional tea like you would think of when you're like a garden party, and the traditional sandwiches and biscuits, and yeah, a lot of people truly enjoy this. There's usually some soft music playing in the Piazza at the same time, and so it's one of those things that you really should check out at least once. Number six is the lectures, especially if you're going to a particular location, like you're heading to an Alaskan cruise or you're heading to a Japanese cruise. They will bring on lecturers about the areas that you're going to, and they will talk about different things that represent. They will talk about the gold rush in Alaska. They will talk about all the kingdoms and the feuds that went on in Japan. They will talk about all kinds of things that you will probably never even heard of before or you didn't know. And they're always fun to find out and listen to. They're usually held on sea days before you get to the destinations, and they really can be informative as well. Not only that, one of those other things that a lot of people don't realize is on board they have their future cruise lecture. And I know what you're thinking. Right away, you're thinking sales pitch. They're trying to sell me future cruises and it's going to be a hard sell. No, it has nothing like that. It's absolutely, completely, actually the opposite. It's held by the Future Cruise Department. But what it is it's a lecture on board talking about a particular destination, like a European cruise or the Alaskan cruises or a Hawaii cruise. And they will talk about those destinations and some of the things you can do, some of the excursions that are there, all the different itineraries that are out there that you might want to one day take. There's no hard selling, there's no paperwork to fill out, there's nothing like that. You're just sitting in the theater and you're listening to a lecture about a particular destination, especially if you've been thinking, you know what, I'd really like to take a Mediterranean cruise one day. Why not sit in on one of these and just listen to what there is to do out there and what some of your options are? It doesn't cost anything and they're not going to try and hard sell you a single thing. One of the familiar things on a Princess cruise is the Piazza. That's the center of the ship where a lot of activities are near, and they bring out, they'll play music in there. They'll have a quartet or a string quartet or they'll have live music every once in a while. But what they also have is games where it's anything from beanbag tossing to taking the wrong ends of a ping pong ball and trying to move it from one bucket to the other and seeing how many you can move over. And they give away prizes, and it's just a lot of fun to laugh and try your skill. I mean, it's the beanbag toss. How hard can it be? You're not going to look like an idiot if you miss. It's beanbag tossing. So participate. You never know what you might win. I've seen some actual pretty cool prizes being given away for some of the more challenging ones. Some of them, they give a prize if you just, if you succeed. For instance, the beanbag toss, if you get 3 out of 5 in, you win a prize. Great. That's everybody. And they let you all try. You just line up and you go. Other ones where you have to put your name in and they'll call you up are a little more challenging, and usually there's only one person that'll win on that, but it's a much nicer prize as well. And I have seen some surprise gifts, so you never know. Give them a try. Number 8, another free thing that they have on Princess, it doesn't cost you extra, is the pub lunch. And these are exactly what it sounds like. It's a traditional pub dining experience. The only thing that'll cost you extra is if you order a beer or a lager from, the bar. But the dining experience is included in the cruise. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it really is popular. And if you get the fish and chips, they are fantastic on board. I highly recommend them. As a Nova Scotian, I like these fish and chips. So I know my fish and chips. Number 9, during a cruise, they'll often have a cooking demonstration from the lead chefs on the ship. And they'll get up and they'll do a cooking demonstration in the theater, and they'll show all kinds of, fun and inventive meals. And they show how many, they talk about how many meals they have to make a day. And then sometimes they will, after that, bring you all into the kitchen and show you a behind the scenes in one of the kitchens on a cruise ship. It doesn't cost you anything extra. This is free. There are paid tours that you can go on, a behind the scenes tours, but if this one is offered for free, why not just attend the cooking seminar and go behind the scenes if the kitchen is the spot that you're really curious about. And lastly, number 10, since we're talking about dining and we're talking about Princess, one of the things that I do recommend above everything else that you try at least once on a cruise, not every cruise maybe, but once, try the chef's table on Princess. I have fantastic experiences. They do it right. They bring a photographer with them, they take pictures of you, you get to go behind the scenes, and the chef and the head maitre d' will prepare some meals right there in the kitchen for you. Some little appetizers, if you will, and you'll get to taste some wine that goes along with them that matches. And then they'll lead you up into the main dining area, but you have your own special table set aside, usually between 10 and 12 people, and it kind of closes off with like these curtains that are like beads that form around the table to block you off from everybody else. And then they open them up as they bring in the food and serve you. They bring in even more food. This goes on for about 2.5 hours to 3 hours, where you're served wine pairings, you're served all kinds of delicious food and desserts. The pastry chef comes down and they serve you their own creation that they've made specially for your dining experience. The same with the meal. And so if you ever want to try a specialty dining other than just the regular specialty dining restaurants, do the chef's table. They are fantastic. You also get souvenirs, you'll get the photograph, and you'll get the cookbook signed by the head chef and the head maitre d' as well as a souvenir. And that sells for about $25, $30. So right there, you're getting something as part of your cruise, plus the backstage tour. So out of all these things, the one that I highly, 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 highly recommend is doing that chef's table. There you go. There's some things to do on a princess cruise. Some you may have known about, some you might not have even thought about, like the Future Cruise Seminar, thinking, oh, it's just going to be a hard sell. No, you can learn a lot about different destinations in the world that you're thinking about traveling. And definitely try that chef's table if you ever get a chance. And don't be afraid to participate in some of those game shows and some of the things in the atrium, because they're a lot of fun. And who cares if you make your fool of yourself? They'll never see you again, chances are. Well, they'll see me, I guess. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.